Hi everyone, it's Robin, RS Island Crafts, and welcome to my studio. This is my WiP It Wednesday video where I show you the crafty goodness that I've been working on in the past week. I'm sorry you didn't have a WiP It Wednesday last week, but I thought it might be okay with the video I did put up. Plus, I didn't really even do that much crafty type things last week. I didn't do much crafty things this week either, but I did get a little busy on the weekend. Before we get into that, let me show you the community blocks that have come in this week. My plan on the weekend was to work on the community quilt. Do you see how much I got done? Yeah, that didn't happen, but that's okay because I have this weekend coming up. There's plenty of time to work on it. I want it to look a certain way, so I want to take my time and make sure that I do it justice and have things look in the way that's going to be nice for all of us to see in the background. Whether it's on that door, we shall see. Both doors will eventually get covered with something. There's a fun elephant. So thank you guys for sending in all of these blocks. These were all by one person. And then some other blocks she sent. Let's see what else to come with that one block. She sent just a little bit, just a little tiny hourglass block for me to play with. I can use it as is. I think this will probably be nice to go on the back in the shape that it's in so that I don't change what the person had intended. I just saw something on the seam. It had this little bit of blue sticking up there. That's all. Nothing wrong with the block. It just caught my eye. So I think I'm going to put this on the back and also this one. I think they will be nice. I want to have a strip going down the center on the back with the extra ones that sometimes you guys are like, oh, Robin, this one didn't work out, but you said to go ahead and send it, so I sent it. And maybe it's a little bit like this, or it's got a point sticking out, or something got cut off and it's really crooked. I will use it because I'll put it on the back. It'll be part of the community quilt, and you won't see it every time I do a video and cringe because I put your ugly block in the center to where everyone can see it every time. But it'll be part of the quilt, and the back needs to have something pretty on it too. At least that's what I do with my quilts. I just put them on the back. Also received all of these two pairs or sets of pairs of, hold on, I'll get it. Pairs of two flying geese in the fun colors. Flying geese can go in any direction. I can put them upside down. So there's all of these, and then there's these half square triangles that, or nope, you can make them like half square triangles, the hourglass blocks. It's only 11 o'clock in the morning and I'm already getting all tongue-tied. So I have all of these to play with. These will definitely, well, I don't know, these will go wherever they go, but these will definitely go on. Hold on. That is a flying geese block. It's just two of them pointing together to make an hourglass, but these will go all over the front of the quilt between the two of them because they're great to fill in the space, and the black will contrast nicely with the other blocks. There's a lot of them. Then I received these two. Now remember, check the community tab and it'll take you to the Patreon page so you can see these. You don't have to be a member of my Patreon group. You should be able to see them without signing up for much of anything, I think. My apologies if you have to sign up for a Patreon account to become a free member to see them, but I'm pretty sure they're open to the public to see. Otherwise, you'll see them on the community tab. I put these pictures up all the time. You can just see who sent them and see all of them on Patreon. There's a fun psychedelic mushroom. Look at that one. And more mushrooms. I love mushroom fabric. They're fun. And then with those came the little bitty tiny half square triangles. Now remember, half square triangles can turn into a lot of things. They can be half square triangles, or, see if I could do it right. There you go. They can become flying geese. So if I say I only want to put flying geese in my community block, I can take these and do that. But I don't want to only put them in because I like to also include the hourglass or the quarter square triangles. Two fabrics, it's an hourglass. Variety of fabrics, it's a quarter square triangle. It all depends on what you do, and everyone calls everything something different depending on what they knew from growing up or the region they live in. So thank you guys so much for sharing your time and your fabric and your postage, sending me some community blocks to decorate my studio with. Now before we get too far into WiP It Wednesday, I promise I have a lot more to show, so make sure you come back. But I want to pop in a little video here talking about the community tab and some changes I made to the YouTube channel. Not to my videos, but how you can find things in the description box and where the about page is. It is a little bit of a video, but it's not that long. It's about 10 minutes. If you don't want to watch it, just feel free to fast forward past it and get back to the regular WiP It Wednesday. But for those of you that like to go down to the description box and find out information, you can hang out and watch this video. So I changed a few things around just to try to make the description box a little bit cleaner. So I wanted to show you where everything is. If you go to my homepage here on YouTube, if you just click on my name underneath any of the videos, it'll take you to this home page. What you want to do is you want to look in this area right here underneath my name. It says, I love taking fabric scraps and creating something fun. Hi and welcome to my channel. And it's probably my name is. So if we take our mouse and we just click on that little arrow right there, it's going to open up the about page. And here I just put all the little extra stuff. Now you will be able to find a place to sign up for the emails to get notification whenever a video comes up. You will have my mailing address, and I moved that long list of links over here. So now YouTube has, I think they're called hyperlinks. If you click on it, it'll take you right to my Etsy, Instagram, Patreon. I put my Ko-fi there, the Ravelry, and the Facebook. Now that's my business Facebook, but there is also a Facebook group, but you have to ask to be invited into it. You have to click on it. If you look up for Our Silent Crafts in the group, YouTube would not let me put the link to the Facebook group because it's private, I'm gonna guess. So you still would need to go ahead and just search for Our Silent Crafts. There isn't a lot going on in the YouTube group. It's not like a very active one. So it's up to you. You can just share your projects and stuff with the email that you'll find in the regular descriptions. So if you look right here, we have home, videos, shorts, live, playlist, community, membership, and store. I don't have anything in the store. I'm not selling anything on YouTube. But in the community has all the community tab listings, all of the posts that I put up. So Sunday was Happy Pink Flamingo Day. So if you're able to see this, usually on a laptop or a desktop, I know some people can see it on their phone, some people can't. So you'll see all of the updated things and what is happening there. I try to put posts definitely when a community quilt block comes in, and then just other random things. Here is all the playlists. Now it's a little bit different for me since this is my channel. It shows the ones that I created and then the regular playlists that I have on my channel and stuff, like things you want to watch later, things you've liked and stuff. So it might be a little bit different for you, but you can see all the different playlists that I have my videos separated into. There's a tab here for all of my live videos. Now, when you go to other channels, it's going to be very similar. I want to say that it's going to be identical, but some people might not have lives. They might not have the community. You have to have a certain amount of subscribers or a certain amount of time on YouTube or so many views or something along those lines to get that community tab and the membership and the store. I don't have very many shorts. Look, I have a total of 3. I do plan on adding more shorts that correlate to the videos and then just quick little things. And then when you go to the video tab, you can sort by latest, popular, and oldest. So if you're like, gee, Robin, how long have you been on YouTube? You can click the oldest button and you see the very first video I put up was 7 years ago. Now it's the same thing when you go to the live channel, the live tab, you got latest, popular, and oldest, so you can see the oldest. So my first live stream was 4 years ago, and that's when I just started doing a couple little things, and it's so totally different than what we do now. But if you want, you can go back and watch those. So if you want to see the most popular videos on a channel, you click on popular, and it shows you the one with the most views first. And then you can just scroll down. So the things that more people are watching, be like, oh, well, let me go see what everyone else watched. That's a popular video. Maybe it's something I'm interested in. Go watch the oldest, and if you want to watch some funny ones and just see how much this channel has changed over the years, I used to talk much slower. I was very, very nervous. This one's a fun one. Not the video itself, but I love making paper beads. I haven't done that in a long time. When I was doing the Talk to Me Tuesdays, you'll find a playlist for those, the playlist for the knitting, the playlist for quilt blocks. 6 years ago, you can see how much Miss Mocha has changed and a variety of things like that. I still haven't finished this USA map. Some projects just got stalled out and never went anywhere. So you have the oldest, the most popular, and then the latest, so you can watch the latest. So let's pull up, I know this one will have what I need. So you have a video, it'll start playing wherever you left off. But if you come down here and underneath the video, it says for this specific one, WiP It Wednesday for Wednesday, June 5th. If you click on the little more button, it'll show you more of the description box. Now I've tried to clean up most of them. Some of the oldest ones, it's a little bit harder to do in bulk. That's a conversation for someone who has an actual YouTube channel if you want to know how to edit everything in bulk. But there's like 800, 900, I don't know how many videos. I can't change them all individually. So most of them have been changed, but here on this area in the description box, you'll find the link to the affiliate link to the Missouri Star Quilt Company for the partner program. You click on that link and you'll get the 20% discount. I have to double check the dates. I'll put it down below on here, but they're having a Kona solid sale, I believe, right now at $5 a yard. But now that's one of the things that is not able to be used on the discount code. There are going to be some exceptions, and they'll tell you when you go to use a discount code that this item can't be used for it. So large ticket items, some sale items you can use it on, and some sale items you can't. I think when it comes to certain things that are small sales and individual thing, you might be able to use it, but when it's a site-wide and it's a big sale, Kona Cotton Solids, Kona Cotton for $5 a yard is a really good stock up deal. So you're not going to be able to use a discount for that. But you can still go through that link to show that you're supporting me and my channel, and then go from there. So I still kept my Etsy shop in here and my Patreon so people don't get too confused trying to find them. Sign up for the email list that just sends it out an email automatically that I put up a video. I don't know, you'd have to let me know in the comments if it shows for when I put up a community tab or shorts. I don't know if you get emails for that, but I do know you get them for videos and live streams. I kept my Amazon wish list here and the email for the show and tell with Robin, so you can send me what projects you're working on. And then you can show a transcript of the video. Sometimes it's fun to do that, to read what is written, to put closed caption on, or to see the word by word. Now, all the transcriptions aren't always there, but you can do closed caption. There is a spot on the videos here with the little spinny wheel that you can click on to change some things, how the clarity of the video it is, and then you have your closed caption, and you have speed, autoplay, volume, and all that fun stuff down there. Oh, there's a transcript over there on the top right. It's in a different spot whether you're on the phone. Oh, look at the houses. I love the houses. You can see it in a different spot if you're on a laptop, desktop, phone, tablet. Everyone's just a little bit different. So the transcript here will tell you what I'm talking about in each section, and you can click on the time. Let's see. We'll go back up here, and the patrons, we started our 2024 quilt along, and then if we scroll down a bunch, we can go to the zippers, talking about the little quilting tabs and matching them to the zipper color, and scroll down some more, and then we're using bits and pieces. Oh, so we're using the bits and pieces left over to make the zipper pouches. So that's a great way, if you don't have the little words under here that tell you the sections, you can come over here and kind of see what's going on. And there's the next videos, and I say bye. So using that transcript can be very helpful if there's not the little chapters, I think is what they actually call it there. And now it's moved on to whatever they're suggesting for me on the next video. So you can just go up into the search engine and type in RSISLAND crafts, and it should show you a bunch of them. You click on my little flamingo or any video and it'll take you right to my channel, and then that's where you can see all that information. So you can find the P.O. boxes. The main thing that I wanted to show you is the P.O. box is under here by clicking that arrow, and there's all that extra information. And I don't know if you see channel details like I'm seeing, but it shows, 1,073 videos. It shows that I started November 23rd, 2008. I live in the US. My 50.2 thousand subscribers. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. And then you can view the email address. I wonder what they have here for the email. The show and tell with Robin at gmail.com. So that's perfect. Now, if you're still using my old email address, that is perfectly fine. I just wanted to switch over and use that mainly for business contacts, and then use this one for you guys to send me questions and messages and stuff like that, just to keep everything separate. It's easier for me to only see the YouTube things in one email, so you guys don't get lost in the spam and other places like that. Enough of that. Let's go ahead and look at more WiP It Wednesday items. I had one of these zipper pouches or one of these zipper pouches in the shop. I can't remember which one. I think I had this one, and it sold out, and I had a customer contact me and asked if I could make them, if I still had the fabric to make them a larger version in this size, and I said yes I can. So I made them. Now we're just waiting to see if the daughter actually wants it. Such a sweet mom saying, do you want one? I will get one for you. So we're waiting to see if the daughter would like it. Otherwise, I will put it in just as a regular item to be purchased from the shop. So whichever one is reserved, the other one should be listed in the shop also. Feel free to grab the one that's listed in the shop non-reserved, because the customer didn't ask for it. I just made it since the fabric was out. If you're already cutting the fabric, and it's such pretty fabric, why not go ahead and make another pouch? Thank you guys for hanging out during the live stream when we made this coaster. The more I look at it, the more I really like it. It's so colorful. I have not put it in the shop yet, but it's due to go in the shop. It's got sparkly purple fabric on the back. You can see the grid quilting, and it's a light, nope, I thought it was gray, but it's a white fabric, swirl on white, white on white, swirly white. It's one of my favorite fabrics to use, and I think it just works really well with the white against all of the rainbow. It's the cloud in the sky with the rainbow. So I had a lot of fun working on that. Someone had sent me this quilting on the grid to make these little, what they called mug rugs. I think it's a coaster size because this is the size it turns out. You do put a mug on it, so it counts as a mug rug. But instead of doing the blocks that they had suggested in here, we just had fun and made up with my scrap bin, and we did whatever we wanted, and it worked out. Just because something says you should do it this way doesn't mean we have to, right? I finished another Sweet Liberty Angel. This is the third one. One of you guys had sent me one that was almost finished. I finished it and turned it into a zipper pouch. 2 people fell in love with it, so I made a second zipper pouch. And while I was doing it, once again, if you're going to take everything out and prepare for something, you may as well go ahead and make 2 more. So I cut out, or I traced out 2 angels, and I'm going to turn this into a pouch, and I'm going to show you how in an upcoming video. I will be doing random videos. I'm just trying to get some saved up in the bank, so to speak, so that I can post them after this little bit of a summer break that I'm doing. You guys are still seeing some videos. You have your WiP It Wednesday. You'll get some other things that'll pop up. Keep an eye on the channel because random things are popping up and you don't want to miss them. I told myself this weekend, once I got past I want to make houses and I want to do the community quilt, and that didn't work out, I said, okay, let me take some of my recent projects that I worked on with my patrons and let me finish them. I was tired of seeing them up on a shelf sitting in one of my baskets. By the way, I went to the Dollar Tree, one of 2 Dollar Trees in this area. We had like 15 in the area of Florida that I can get to within 15-20 minutes. And I know there's 2 within the Meet It area. Otherwise, I have to go a little bit east to go to other ones. The poor Dollar Tree was having trouble. They hadn't gotten their truck in. Their next truck, they didn't know if it was going to show up. And it's not springtime, but I was just hoping to get more of these baskets because they're great for storing my projects in. So if I put everything in here, this is my WiP It Wednesday basket. Whatever, ooh, you can see what's coming up. So whatever I'm going to talk about on WiP It Wednesday, I put in this basket. And then I move it to a second basket that needs to get put away. But I wanted to get like 10 or 15 more of these. Realistically, at least 5 or 6, so that I can take all of my ongoing projects and stack them in here. So I could take one basket out of, probably put them on a shelf in the closet or something, take them out and say, okay, this is what I'm working on today. This is the project I need to finish. It has everything. It has the binding, it has the backing, it has the batting, the project, the whole bit. Whatever I need to do, hardware, zippers, etc., it'll be in this little basket. I find these are just deep enough that I can put a few projects in or just one quilt in. Like this is the houses that I'm working on with my patrons. So I have everything I need or that I've been using so far in that basket, and I can just go ahead and grab it and go. That way I don't have to say, oh, what am I going to work on today? Oh, I got to set up my sewing machine. I got to find this. Where's that? Oh, I used that fabric somewhere else. By storing it in these baskets, it makes it easier for me. But they didn't have any baskets. The plastic basket section was almost wiped out. The only thing they had was these really cute little ones that I did not purchase, but I wanted to. I just don't know what I would use them for, but they were cute. So anyway, in my basket here is the project. This is, let me show you the original project. This was the project that I worked on with my patrons. I did diagonal quilting with a very pale green. Instead of cross hatching like I planned, I thought it was fun to accentuate the diagonal just going in one direction versus boxing it out. I found just a big enough piece of this green flowered fabric. That's pretty accurate. When you look at the photos in my Etsy shop, I'm really bad. I'm trying. I just don't have the ability, don't have the skill. I'm improving one little thing at a time with my pictures. I'm getting there. I just need to get a little bit better with the photo editing software. But this is an accurate color. So generally when you see it here, you're seeing it under a nice light. When I take a picture with my phone, because that's what I'm using, and a lot of people use iPhones, so that's not an issue. But when I take it and I try to adjust it, I lose some of the colors. The bright lights come in, the phone makes it darker, makes it brighter. It just gets crazy. So when I tell you that this is an accurate color, you can count on this being the color, and what you see on Etsy is pretty good. Most people come back and say, Robin, this is so much prettier than what I saw in the videos or on Etsy. So that's always a nice thing. So now here it gets a little dark. Bring it back, and this is the accurate color. So if you like this, it'll be in the Etsy shop, maybe by Wednesday, otherwise by Friday is usually when I can get things in. This has that same white swirl because I used the white swirl here in the pieces, so I went ahead and I used it for the binding. There was a lot of conversation in my head going on about trying to decide on binding. I struggle with binding and I struggle with backing because I just go willy-nilly and make the quilt top, and then I have to make decisions. And I'm not going to a fabric store. I need to use what's in my studio here and use up the fabric that I already own, if at all possible. So these are the little pieces. These are stitch and flip corners here. So all of these, you'll see there's a 2 green here. And then if you look, the 2 green is right there. So I decided I just didn't want to throw those away. They were so bright and fun and colorful. So I turned them into a little mug rug. And then I thought this striped with the black and all the polka dot colors would be fun. I've been calling this the wonky pinwheels because this piece in the center is a little crooked, but the actual mug rug itself is nice and rectangularly square. Can we call it squared up when it's not a square? I don't know the rules, so I just put a whole bunch of words in to make it make sense. There is the quilting on the back, all squiggly wiggly with red with little micro white tiny polka dots in it. So wacky pinwheels, wacky carnival pinwheels. We'll see what I name it. Probably just going to be wonky pinwheels, because it looks like the pinwheels that you as a kid and it spins. That's what it reminds me of. And again, those colors are pretty accurate here. We'll see what happens. Sometimes when I go into the editing, or like when I put up the thumbnail picture, it gets all blown out in white because I have to have lights all over the place to keep it at a reasonable brightness here. So the other things I worked on with my patrons for my mini wall are the strawberries. I made one, whoop, this one's for me, and this one's for the shop. Unless someone says, Robin, I really have to have yours. They're both pretty much the same. I used about the same fabrics in both. The only thing different is I thought the green on the top here with these two similar shades of a medium darker green with the lights in the center looked nicer than this, because this one has a light there and a light there and they're opposite. I thought even with these two being opposite that this one just looked nicer. So this will be going in the shop. It is cross-hatch quilted in a very pale pink thread. I couldn't figure out what thread to use between the bindings and the thread and the backings. It was a full weekend. I didn't want a bright white going across the strawberries, and I didn't want a red going in the white, but I wanted to cross hatch it so it would be simple. So I decided to do a pale pink. It was Blush from Essential Threads from Connecting Threads. It took me a second there to figure out the name. So I used that, and then I used the green gingham. It's green. Is it got white in it? Yes, it has some white in it. The dark green, medium green, or medium green, light green, and white. There's that white swirl fabric because I have a bolt of it, so it's in every project. And the reason this one had the red and white, or the red with the white, what are they, polka dots? I was thinking pinwheels again. I used it on the back of both of these, and I had just enough scraps left for this, and then to put some in my red scrap bin, which is that one right there, by the way. Not that you needed to know. So I have those three done. This is going in the shop. This is going in the shop. And I just realized that I had planned on cutting this down narrower, but I'm glad I didn't, because I think the amount of background and strawberry is pretty good. I have a pineapple up there that has a little extra background, so I was thinking about making these smaller, but my brain caught up with me and stopped me from doing it. I forgot. And it looked good, so it didn't bother me. Once it was quilted, I trimmed it up, and it looks really nice. I'm just going to have a whole bunch of fruit on my walls on my mini quilt wall. I haven't decided yet. I think I'm going to put a bunch of minis up here over the shelf and over the door. This area is for when you guys make little minis to send me, which you don't have to, but I appreciate when you do, so I want to make sure that they're up where you can see it, even if I have to move the clock. I tend to look straight ahead for the clock because that's where it was in Florida for like 4 or 5 years. So I will probably end up moving the clock from there to there, but only if I receive more mini quilts to go up on that wall. So there is that. This one's mine, no tag on it. This one is yours if you so wish, because it's got my tag. Really simple for me to figure out which is which. I received a fabric postcard in the mail. Thank you very much. It was during a rough time, and she wanted me to have a drink on her. So here are my drinks. What am I drinking? Bolt 45 instead of Colt 45. A Heineken instead of Heineken. A Carp. I'm not sure what that would be. Sun, Moors instead of Coors. Krolich Premium, and something with a snake and Texas on it. Oi, that's interesting. Now this has a piece. This person always sends me really fun postcards because she does this layering technique. So this one you can really feel it has a bunch of, I'd say, like cross stitch on it or something like that. I don't know if she purchased a fabric or if it's something she made. And then she appliqued one of the beers from this area down, and then there's all kinds of lace. Now this is a great way if you have things in your stash from a thrift store or garage sale, or maybe you have grandma's items and stuff, you can put it into projects like this, or make it's called a mug rug, but it's still a mini quilt, and you can hang it on the wall or make little note cards or something like that. And remember, I won't turn it around, but remember, you should always put your signature and the date, even if it's just a year that you made the item on the back, especially with fabric postcards. When you mail them out, someone can save it and say, oh, this is what so-and-so made 10 years ago. This is what she made last year. Look at how much it's different, how much it's changed or improved, or just for yourself. And if I stop waving things around, it might be nice. So thank you so much. Now, I made some fabric postcards. 4th of July coming up here in the US. Now, at certain levels on my Patreon group, one of their rewards is a fabric postcard, whether they get one every month or 3 times a year, 4 times a year, twice a year, or just at Christmas time. There's a loose thread. There's always a loose thread. Oh, this is not for my patrons. This is just a fabric postcard that I made with the leftover scraps from a batik project. I went ahead and I used orange thread, and I used the same stitch that I put around here. I went ahead and put it in there. I call it a feather stitch because it looks like the back end of a feather on a bow or something like that. So instead of changing out for every color, because I don't have time for that on a fabric postcard, I went ahead and I just stitched all of these down. If you guys ever want a new tutorial, updated version of how I make this style of fabric postcard with my scraps, let me know. I'd be more than happy to make a video for you. And if you don't let me know, I might do one anyways, because that's just something I enjoy doing. I always put the line to mark between writing the letter and putting the address in case someone decides to mail it. And I put my name, RS Island Crafts, and then I put the year. If you're seeing it backwards, don't worry, I'm not that skilled. It's just actually being mirrored by my phone. If you're seeing it the right way, then that's perfect. I'm the only one seeing it mirrored. So it's just a really fun way to use up those really thin scraps. I did not sew them down. I just did a little fun thing with them, and then I top stitched to hold them in place. Now for my patrons, theirs have already gone out. If you haven't gotten yours yet, I'm sorry I'm ruining the surprise, but this is what I sent out my patrons. The 4th of July gnomes that I picked up last year, they are so adorable. This guy is my favorite, the Bomb Pop guy, and I just sent these out, and I mailed them out a little early if you guys haven't seen the post on Patreon. Did you know that I can post on Patreon based on the level you're in? So if you're not in the level and you're not receiving one of these, you won't see the post. So that's a really great way over on Patreon. So if you join my Patreon group or someone else's, they can let you know different things for your level without sending it out to everybody. So if you're at a low level or a high level or anywhere in between, it's great that you can message people without showing it to everyone. You know what I mean? I don't know if that matters to anyone, but I just think it's a neat little feature. So I'll let you guys know I sent these early so that you have them in time, hopefully for the 4th of July. This guy is fun too. And then I stitched around all of them in a blue thread. These are going to be going in my shop. I also have a third one hiding down here, and I'll show you why in a second. So when I put things like this in the shop, I usually just say, here's 3 and I'll send you one, but if you really, really wanted a certain one, you can take a screenshot of it and send me a message with your order, or you can send me a message on Etsy and say you want specifically this one, or that one. Otherwise, I just make a choice. Since they're all from the same fabric, I just eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I think about you and I look at the 3 of them and then I pull one out, and it's really fun when you guys message me and say that's the one you wanted. It was perfect for you. I do the same thing when I send out fabric postcards as little fun little thank yous and whatnot. So that's really great. But the reason I have the one sitting out, more thread, is I also went on Amazon when I was looking for the clear envelopes. I wanted a little bit of a different size. The size I use, 4.75 by 6.75, they were sold out. And I couldn't find anything similar, so I ordered smaller ones. I didn't want to make smaller postcards because I have everything, the material, the comic book board, the batting. I pre-cut it ahead of time. I have one of these bins over here are just full of cotton batting for postcards. So I wanted to find some envelopes that would work so I didn't have to change things up. I did find something. I found some that are 4.75 by 6.0. These are 4.5 by 6.5, so the 6.5 will be fine when I put the little closing tab over. But when you order from the shop, so I can send it to you without just sending it in a clear envelope, I found these envelopes. These happen to be a great size. I can send a fabric postcard or two and still just use the cost of a stamp, so you really don't have to pay shipping for it. I can do it. I can put a card in an envelope. It has these two little bits here that I was getting hung up on. So you can mail it like this. So if you guys are interested in these, let me know. I'll put a link in the description box or down in a comment or something. But now I can mail it and I don't have to worry about using a clear envelope. Some post offices, including mine, has been getting a little iffy lately with them. So if I mail it like this, they can't complain. It's just like mailing out a birthday card or something. And what's fun about this size is sometimes my mug rugs or smaller, the note cards or smaller coasters. Where's Mr. Coaster? So if you were to purchase the coaster all on its own, I could mail this for the cost of a stamp instead of spending $4. Now this one's a little bit tall. I'd have to double check the measurements and make sure I can still close it. But you can see right here is where it folds, so it's just that much too big. But I could again make sure it's closed and do something to make it work. But if you have something that's smaller, a lot of times I can put mug rugs in these clear envelopes and mail them that way when I make them specifically that size. So you have some options if you're mailing things like this out to friends and family. I've got a mess over here. Just think about the different ways you can mail them and to make sure everything is good. When I have them like this in a clear envelope, if the envelope is a little bit taller, I have to make sure I tape it down, and I bought something for that too. See, when you skip a week of WiP It Wednesdays, there's so many more things to discuss. So when I mail out I was mailing out the note cards to my patrons as a thank you for being my patron for, it's over 5 years now, 5.5 years that I've been doing Patreon, I believe. Yeah, 2019, January 2019. I was mailing out the rainbow note cards to them, but the note card clear envelopes were just a little bit taller. And in the past, I would fold them down and put Scotch tape on it, and it was such a pain, and I couldn't get it to do it right, and the ends would flop. So some people had some problems receiving them. They didn't have to pay extra postage as far as I've been told, but the mailman did say there were some issues, and that's just because the clear plastic was getting caught in the machines and stuff like that. So one of my patrons, if you haven't received one and you think you should, go ahead and message me over on Patreon and I'll make sure you get one. But anyway, so to fix the problem of folding it over and putting tape on it, I found this washi tape on Amazon, and I was looking for something with a variety of colors that would be fun. And bonus that it comes in its own little box. And then when I open it up, I guess I'm taking it all the way off. So it's just one of these kind of boxes that slide over. And then I have all of these different washi tapes to use. Now I might use some of these for other things. Maybe I'll just add it to this envelope or something as a little decorative bit. You have to be careful where you put things because the post office has to do stuff here and they have to do stuff there. So maybe I'll add an extra piece. Now this has the peel and stick, but maybe I'll put an extra piece on there just for fun. Maybe I'll use it in my planner when I want to have a little bit of extra fun. But there are 50 rolls for a total of almost 10 feet, 9.84 feet, 3,000 millimeters. If I'm reading my English correctly there. So I thought that was a really good find. They have all kinds of washi tape. I was just going to pick some up at the Dollar Tree, but I thought it was much more fun to have all of these different colors in here. Just trying to put it back on and not have them all upside down. There's some Christmas and Valentine's and trees and fall ones, summer. So you got all of the rainbow because 2024 for Robin has been all about the rainbow. Just pick out what you want. They don't have, like a ton on there, but there's enough on there. And if one runs out, then you just use another one, right? And oh no, if you use up all the washi tape, you'll have to buy more. I've seen some of the videos online, and I'm sure some of you guys have the same thing when you're doing your planners and stuff, and I've seen hundreds, dozens, hundreds and hundreds of rolls of washi tape. You guys have a lot of fun with your washi tape. Boy, that's a lot today, isn't it? I'm looking at my timer. My timer says 31 minutes. I'll probably knock a little bit off. So this might be like a 35, 40-minute video. So for those of you that love a longer video, you're welcome. For those of you that like a shorter video, you've probably left 20 minutes ago. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Your scrappy word of the day is washi tape. I'll put it down here in case you don't know how to spell it. Let me know, do you use washi tape and how you use it? If I'm taking too long and you want one of these items, just let me know and I will get it in the shop right away. When it's reserved for you, then I can just pop one picture up, put your name on it, reserved, figure out the shipping and stuff, and then it doesn't really matter. I don't have to take a lot of time putting 12 items up. Check these out. One of them is reserved, one of them isn't. But if you want one made for you, for yourself, or someone else in your life, I have more of this fabric. I'd be more than happy to make one. Thank you guys so much for sending the community blocks. I will put these with the rest of them, which happen to be sitting. I'm going to have a mess to pick up. Right here in this Ziploc baggie. It doesn't look like a lot, but there are loads of them in there, plus all the extra bits. When I do the community block, I don't know if I said it out loud, but there will be a separate video showing how I'm going to frankenpiece some batting that I have. Someone sent me the strips of the batting off the side of the quilts or the bottoms, and there are going to be 2 of them wide enough that if I frankenpiece them, and I'll show you how I'm going to lay out the blocks and decide how I'm going to put all the little spacer bits in and see what I can come up with. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for all of your support. I just remembered one last thing, because there's always one last thing. Check out the Missouri Star affiliate link down below. I believe I talked about it during the where to find things on my channel part, but if you zoom past that, I'll put the dates down here, but Missouri Star is having a sale on the Kona cotton for $5 a yard. Now, in my opinion, $5 a yard for Kona cotton is a really good deal. You're not able to use my affiliate discount with it, but you can still click through the link and you can get discounts on other items. Plus, it's nice to know that if you click through the link, it's registered somewhere and Missouri Star can see how many people click through the link. And they can give us more opportunities here to share with you guys. But either way, $5 a yard is a great stock up price. When I'm done picking up this mess, I'm going to go click on my link and follow through and see what I can find and place a little order for myself. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I will see you guys next time. Bye.